lots of Tottenham fans were very, very up for this game, thinking this was going to be very, very easy. Nah, this is Tottenham versus Chelsea. It's never going to be that easy, right? So, I have to say, that's a smash and grab. We are so lucky to get anything out of that game. For me, I've got to be honest, I think it was a poor performance overall. We started off with a lot of intent, and that just seemed to drop off. Like, Son was definitely not at the races today, and I'm not sure what's going on there as to why that might be the case. For me, the player that seemed to have the most endeavour and interest in actually trying to make a statement was Kulusevski. But again, after about 20 minutes, that kind of dropped off. So I was a bit worried that actually it was, we just didn't have that intensity at all. And at one point, I was saying to the guys that I felt that we were having a bit of a footballing lesson here, which is really disappointing because, we was expecting so much more from this game. So really disappointed from that aspect that we didn't put in a performance. But listen, Koulibaly's goal, you can't argue that, right? I mean, that is top draw. Came off of it looked like it come off of his shin and kind of spiralled into the corner. But there's no way he's Lloris stopping that. But should he be in there in that much space, realistically? And they never addressed that at all. At every corner, subsequently, he was still stood in acres of space, able to do whatever he liked. So I was really disappointed with that. So it was like we didn't learn a lesson at all. And at points, Chelsea were just passing the ball around us like we weren't even there, with no press at all. And their press was really good. They were really up for it. They were really trying to go for it. So really, really disappointed that we just didn't have the momentum to match them. But listen, ultimately, you're going to take that result, right? When you're 2-1 down and you come back to draw 2-2, it's like celebrating a win, because I never thought that was going to happen. In terms of the goal with Højbjerg and the foul, listen, when I was watching it in real time, in my head, I was like, that's a foul. How's he got away with that, But when you slow it down and you actually watch the replay, it looks like he got the ball. So the referee was looking straight at it. So either the referee was really on the ball and really see that, or we were really, really lucky for that ball to get played and for the game to continue, which led to the first goal. I'm not sure about the handball element of it. I didn't really see too much in that. But in terms of offside, Richarlison never touched the ball. He wasn't looking at the ball. He wasn't interfering where plays. So you cannot argue that was an offside situation. So for me, good goal. Happy to take it. Great for Højbjerg, who, to be honest with you, I didn't think had a particularly good game. I thought he got bullied off the ball an awful lot and passed around. I felt that our central midfield was really weak. We didn't have anything to combat what they were doing, and their passing was slick and fast. And that kind of led me to think, we're getting nowhere here. Very, very disappointing game. I was down in Poole watching the game in the pub with my friends, as you can probably tell. And so, from our perspective, we were getting absolutely smashed most of the time. So really disappointed with that. So to come back and actually get the draw, you're going to take that every day, right? The sign of a good team is one that, even when they're playing badly, still gets a result. So today I felt that we played badly. We got a result. Harry Kane did nothing in that game at all but score that goal. That's what he's there for, to score the goal. So he scores the goal, we take the point. Sonny, I felt from the start, seemed like he was, off the pace totally. Oh, I'm not sure why that would be. That doesn't make any sense, because in pre-season he's been right up for it. So a little bit disappointed with him, but great to see Richarlison come into the team and add some sort of strength in there. And the same with Basuma, who kind of got involved and was kind of stirring it up a little bit. But yeah, overall, listen, poor performance today. I'm not going to argue and say we deserved to get what we got out of it. I didn't feel we did. I felt that we were very, very lucky to stay in the game. I'm a little bit concerned about Lloris as well. The fact that he's so static on his line. Like, even for the Reece James goal, I cannot understand why he's not rushing out and getting in his face to kind of put him out, spread himself big, get in his face. Why sit back on your line in that circumstance? There was nobody else there, no other defender there. So really, that's a little bit of a disappointment. You want to see him kind of really getting involved there. He may well have scored anyway. But if he gets out there, gets in the way, gets in his face, might do enough to put him off. So listen, overall, disappointing performance, but I'll take the point today. I was hoping that we were going to really show some progress, but it wasn't to be. Conte still sticking with the same team. He knows his players, he knows what he wants, so listen, it's not for me to argue. But for me, I still felt it needed Perisic at the beginning to really give it some experience. To be fair, I think the only player, probably not the only player, but the main player I think who comes out of this game with some sort of kudos was Emerson. Surprisingly, I thought he did really, really well. He seemed really up for it. He was on the ball. He was after it. He was chasing it down. He was pushing forward. So you can't knock him for that. But the disappointing situation is that he was the only one. Romero, to be honest with you, I think a couple of times he's skating on very, very thin ice. Pulling of Cucurella, I don't even know how you say it, but pulling his hair, he got away with one there, to be honest with you. I know it's a stupid haircut, he probably don't need it, but, he shouldn't be pulling his hair like that, to be honest. But, listen, he's a class act. He's a class act. And, and to be fair, Dyer did okay. Davis did okay. Romero did okay. So you can't really knock it. But the midfield for me was very, very weak. We were open and inviting play. And that concerns me a little bit, that we're not going to shut that down. So as I say, disappointing performance. But we gain a point from a team that we usually lose against. Haven't won there for so many years. And that continues, which is really disappointing. But it is what it is. I watched the game down in Poole. There was a lot of Chelsea fans in there. So it was great to be able to cheer at the end that we actually got some kind of result out of that. And they soon fucked off, to be honest with you, because we were mob-handed in there. So that's my thoughts, such as it is. I'm going to leave it there. I've had a few beers, as you can tell, watched the game. So we'll leave it there, and hopefully we move on to a better performance against Wolves next weekend. I'll be at the game, so it'd be good to see anybody who's at the game. I'll be in LT's and a Gilpin Bell if you want to come and say hello. So we'll leave it there. Up the Spurs.